one motherfucking game.
Yeah.
From E3 I want to hear about.
What?
Microsoft.
Which one?
Flight Simulator.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
They didn't
We
play
didn't
that.
get a chance to touch
I didn't play it.
I got a chance.
saw it.
I got a chance to see it. I got a chance to see it.
How it look?
It looks good.
looks
Was
nice.
it beautiful?
All the games at
It
E3
look
and you
like-
want to go
it
see
look
Flight
like-
Simulator.
Oh!
What else was y'all wanted to know like about certain announcements and stuff? Like
Well, I guess we can get into the next day.
Right.
We're breaking
the,
this-
the first day.
It looks like we're breaking these things into days.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it was a long week.
that was
Yeah.
Because day zero was long.
Day
So,
zero was crazy.
yeah.
and then it was like we still was adjusting to the time zones. So 1
See, I
o'clock, it felt like 4 p.m. for us, but it was 1 o'clock
Felt
over
like
there.
1 to me.
Wow.
Y'all go to bed early.
By day one.
Y'all go to bed
Man,
early to
and
me.
on top of that, he wanted us to wake up at like 7 a.m. over there.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we only got like 3 hours of sleep.
That's all y'all need.
yeah.
Just 3 hours.
Actually, I'm on Nick's side on that one when it comes to
We got a.
We out in a
got there.
whole
We did
new
it.
city. Like,
Yeah.
well, it ain't new for me, but
just pop up like let's do
Bro,
it.
you didn't go anywhere the first 2 times.
yeah, and that's why I was trying to make up for that too, because the first time we did go somewhere. The first time we actually
Yeah,
went
we
there. The
did.
second time, I
What
pretty
you
much
do?
did it
Do
myself.
you remember? You don't remember compared to this trip?
Hell no.
Well, this trip-
Okay, you didn't do shit, basically.
That ain't compared to this
You
one.
didn't
You
do
talking
shit.
about?
It was garbage.
Yeah, kinda
compared
had
to this
you.
one.
God damn.
Oh,
You the ticket.
Man,
well.
I was the ticket.
Yes.
Huh?
Oh, I'm making it up now.
Huh, wait. Y'all so inside? Like, come on. I don't.
Next.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
basically. I mean, because
Can
it's
y'all,
like
like, keep-
he initially really wanted me to go on a trip because he felt like we can get away with more
I felt
stuff
like I can
if
get away
they had
with
a
way more stuff if she was there.
yeah, which she did. Well, we all
Oh,
did.
so what you're
100%
saying?
right.
She was the plug.
Oh yeah, and,
She was
and
the
for everything
vinyl.
that happened,
Yeah.
yeah, she was the plug. That
Yeah.
Plug. Gotcha.
I mean, because day zero, I was doing the talking. They just stood there, just waiting for the okay.
Look like some sorry ass bodyguards.
Hey, man.
You had fun though, so I don't want to hear that shit.
Controversy next entry. Let's go.
Yeah, they see 2 big black dudes walking. Oh no, they must be trouble. Light skin. Oh yeah, she's good. Just bring her on in.
But it is the gaming world.
Wow.
You know, the gaming world, you know, is male dominated. So
Very much
just to have females in that space, I'm
Like,
sure that
like it's easy to talk shit, man. Look at these 2 old sucker motherfuckers. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you got
Oh,
a
the
female.
female.
Okay,
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 play games. Okay, cool.
Like, there's-
Reminds me of the old Punk episode where he said Jermaine O'Neal couldn't come to the club for Iverson's birthday party. He was like, "You ain't got any girls or nothing. You can't call your sister up or something, bro. You can't just let you in, man. You brought a bunch of guys, bro. It's a sausage fest. Like, you ain't got one girl you can call, like somebody."
You know?
and that was the reason I thought it led to all of that stuff.
Okay.
the moral of the story is
I mean,
diversity / using people for your own personal gain.
Hey, which it worked. It worked.
So day 1,
So
y'all woke up,
day
3
one,
hours
we
of
woke.
sleep.
Day one, we woke up, got registrations.
I already had my registration by then, but yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a whole day before we had ours.
and then we walked around, got to know different people, got food.
Y'all budget for food and stuff.
That was
No.
thrown out the window.
No.
So food was more expensive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I already listen.
Let's be for real.
when
I messed my diet up completely.
Were y'all not near?
Shouts
like,
out to 7-Eleven.
Oh, 7-Eleven. They sell food? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the West
It's
Coast.
a mini grocery store in there.
Bruh.
I never been
7-Eleven
to
is the
Because
truth.
we
Yeah.
tried, me and Nick tried one time after she got mad at us, but because we didn't wake her up in time. I don't know. She wouldn't do something. But she passed out. And we tried to go to Target, but there's no parking.
Wow.
And then
Yeah,
there
the
was
first
like,
Target we saw that had no parking,
There
and we had
wasn't
to
a
pay.
place to park.
We had
You
to
had to
pay. We had to
pay.
pay $5 for a chance to probably get parking. Just
yes,
to go in.
Oh,
to
damn.
go into the Target.
Hold on, did you say to get a chance?
Hell,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, because how theirs was set up, you know how they had parking meters and stuff around Atlanta. They had a parking meter, but they had certain cars allocated to each one, so you had to still pay in order to see if you can get a chance to park there.
Let's see if it's open.
Yo, they getting their money.
Oh,
Yeah.
they still getting that joint.
So we was like, nah.
Well,
we're
it's a good thing
7-Eleven.
that I went to Target on behalf of Nick, because Nick was like, "I'm
Yeah,
not going."
Where was Nick at when we went to Target?
He was standing in line for.
I was standing
Oh
around for
yeah,
the
for
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy.
7.
So-
He was
Hey, that
standing
was
in
worth
line
the
for
wait,
2
though.
hours.
That
All
was
right,
worth the
so
wait.
since we're on that subject, let's get right into that because I've been waiting to hear about that.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, you can talk
Nick,
about
Final
you got it.
Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
He waited. He waited 2 hours.
As he should.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 hours.
No.
I mean,
No,
I
no, no,
slick
no.
went off on the old chick on accident.
Oh, yeah, that
It
was
wasn't no
pretty funny.
accident. We were
Because-
frustrated.
I mean, but I spoke what all the other people were thinking, I mean,
stupidity.
So what was going on?
Cause it was
So
like
it was a
they
lot-
gave
it was
him
a-
a ticket
This
to
is 5
get
to
in
6.
line.
It was a ticket to get in line to actually like see the demo, actually experience it.
Okay.
And then when she came around, I was literally like 10, maybe about 15 people away
He
from the
went.
entrance.
But he's
At
been gone
5.
for like an hour and a half
It
already.
says 5 to 6. It said her thing was if you show up between 5 and 6, you get a chance to get in.
Wow.
Oh, that wasn't even a chance. It was you got the ticket, motherfucker. You getting in
But
there.
he said no. From what
That's not
what she
said.
explained to
That's
me
not what she
was
said.
when he was already in line for a long period of
This thing
time.
was
Then
on
he
the
came
wall.
back with a ticket. He was like, okay, I have to go back at this time to play the game. Okay, cool. He's been gone for an hour and a half. We find him. He's on the edge, like the wall, and I ain't never seen him so frustrated in my life.
Oh man.
I was looking at my
So
phone.
I looked at, I talked to her and I was like, how long is that going to take? And she was just like, well, he's still in line. I said, why is he in line if he has a ticket? And she was like, the ticket is for him to get in line. I said, do you hear what you just said? Why would he already be in line and then get a ticket to get back in line? That sounds stupid. If anything, the ticket is for him to play the game. Because at that point, he's waiting another hour and a half.
And the guy
so
in the
all
back
the
was
people
like this.
behind.
Yeah, the guy in the
They were
back
like,
heard her, and then he
she's
was
not
like,
wrong. It does sound kind of stupid.
And then, so
Oh, you had like the line uprising.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
Yeah,
back.
but they,
Hell
they,
yeah.
shit, they were just
Hell
looking.
yeah.
He was like,
They're like,
It was
we
like-
about to let her put me out of line, but
I mean,
she is
yeah.
wrong.
I mean, I wanted to say it, but
yeah, this line is inferior.
Inferior ass line.
That was an inferior line.
I mean, I spoke with. I wasn't in line, but I was speaking what everybody else was thinking because they wasn't gonna say
And
shit.
then you had this one big ass security guy. He's come up behind you. He was like, "We got a problem here. Did we got a fucking problem here?"
Who? He was talking to who?
He was talking to you. It was you and Lance.
When?
You
We
were
don't
still
start this
focused on the
uprising.
woman. And I told him, I was like, no, we good. Okay, we leave it.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's a good thing he talked to you.
Oh yeah, because Lance saw him.
She
from
was
your,
on a path.
yeah, from your
Oh,
perspective, yeah, because Lance
Oh, he
saw
didn't
him.
tell
from
me
your
that
perspective,
shit.
you
Why
couldn't-
would I tell you this shit? We gotta leave. I'm hurting. I'm tired. I'm trying to get back to the car.
And that's a good thing about when you have a group.
Yo,
Always have
man.
men and women because for the women be like, yeah, hey, tell them something about the line.
Every time.
Because for a dude be like, man, what the fuck? oh, really?
You're roughed up.
Get money.
Gotta have the balance about it.
Yeah, because if Lance would have been the one to ask that question, yeah, he would have been.
And then
Like,
just be-
yeah, he would already been on the ground. Stop resisting the rest. But sir, you ain't even an
all
officer.
right, all right. So
Stop resisting. There's a miracle.
See the other security guard. It's a good thing he didn't talk to my black ass.
with all that being said,
Man, shit.
was the wait worth it?
Was it
Hell
worth
yeah.
it?
And why was it worth
okay.
it? Just tell me why was it
Why?
worth it?
Because the simple fact that, all right, there was only about, how much you told me? There was only about 200 tickets that they gave out for all 4 events. So it was
There's
from,
over
it was
50,
from,
60,000 people there.
so it was about, about 200 tickets. And then out of those 200, at least they had like a line of like 2,000 some people because that was the game of the show. Well, a lot of people were considering the game of the show.
Right.
So I was literally the first, that was the second day that we got in. I was the very last person to actually get that ticket.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So
It might have
was-
been the third game.
Yeah,
Because
so
I
was-
remember I messaged you. I'm like, yo, you better get that ticket.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be playable.
Yeah, and I remember you told me, I was like, yeah, I gotta make sure to get that
Yeah.
ticket because literally as the gates opened up, that was the first thing they ran to because how they had it set up, they had the main attraction games front and center, so that was like one of the main display stands. Because I think Square Enix, they had around like 25% of the space within was the South Hall? Oh, was the West Hall?
I think
It
that was West.
it was West Hall.
West Hall, so they had about 25% of that space.
Wait, no,
allocated.
I'm sorry. It was South Hall.
South, yeah, so they had about 25% of the
Nintendo
South Hall
was-
allocated just to that one game.
Might have been.
And the fact that you saw like literally about 2,000 some people rush to that, and I was the last one to get it, and that was unbelievable.
That's
dope.
cool.
That was unbelievable.
So gameplay, man. I need to know.
Gameplay, that shit was really good, man. It was. You played Final Fantasy 15 before, right?
Yes.
I would say it's along the same veins as Final Fantasy 15, but it has a Kingdom Hearts 3 aesthetic. Like
As I thought.
Like the best thing about it is, of course, it's it acts like a hack and slash type action adventure game. So you're actually doing your move sets kind of like how 15 is, but so you're not doing any of the traditional RPG mechanics like you stand in line, hit a button, bow.
I
Tap that nigga
actually
in.
like those mechanics. Some people didn't like those mechanics.
I enjoyed those.
Like those
I
are the
enjoyed
classic
them too.
ones.
I
but you know-
enjoyed them
but-
too, but it's nice to see that game in a new light,
Yeah.
in a new direction.
I will say
Exactly,
I did enjoy what's XV
15?
When Noctis.
15? Yeah,
Noctis,
15.
Yeah, I did enjoy.
I enjoyed that one
those
too.
battle mechanics. That was pretty good. So
Yeah.
if it's similar to that, I probably like it.
And the really dope thing about that is because on 15, how you only just play with Noctis, and that was the only character you play with.
Until you could download DLC.
Yeah, well,
No.
we include like day one shit. We include all
Okay.
that. We talking about you get the motherfucker day one. This is what you experience, not any of that aftermarket shit. This is
there
day
you go.
one.
Day
Okay.
one.
So you can switch in between Cloud and Barrett. That's my nigga right there.
Yeah.
So the fact that I got to play with him, that's elevated.
He's
right
the one with
there.
the gun,
That's
right?
what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, he's the one with the
gun
gun for
hand,
arm.
bro.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so the combat, as far as like the extra added feature on there, there's this one ability. I forget what it's called, but it slows down time. So essentially,
It's the new ATB
yeah,
gauge.
actually they have the old school ATB gauge on there, but what it is, actually you taking a certain amount of damage, you can activate it, and then it slows down time. So you're allowed to choose between different attacks like spells, special moves, stuff like that. And then once you reach a certain limit on the ATB gauge, you can actually engage what's called like a rage mode, and that's when he's able to use like his vertical.
Oh, you mean limit
flashes.
breaks?
Yeah, the limit breaks.
Limit breaks. He did
He's
cross
actually
slash and all
cross
that.
slash and everything. Yeah. So in terms of that, they still kept the tried and true Final Fantasy VII aesthetics,
Yeah.
but they modernized it. So the best way I can describe it, if you play 15, if you play Kingdom Hearts 3, you have a good feeling of what that game's gonna play like, but it's a step above what those are. So those are already some good games, but now that they're bringing it back to the Final Fantasy VII setting, and they're actually modernizing it and adding more new aesthetics to it and more mechanics. Yeah, I think that's actually gonna be probably the game. of the year.
Dang.
One more question.
It's
How,
not.
how did switching feel? Because that was my main. Because like when they added the DLC to 15, the switching was kind of clunky.
It is.
Oh, it was
So
fluid.
how-
It was literally what L1. So L1, you automatically switch back. Just one button.
Cool.
And it's
cool.
seamless too, so it's not like anything you have to like bring up a menu and then you have to toggle this character. It was
Okay.
literally you hit one button, bam, switch around.
Was it like a camera pan or was it like just an instant screen?
It was a
Like-
camera pan, so let's just say
dope, that's dope.
you have a character right here and then Cloud's right here, Barrett's right here. The moment you hit L1, it just rotates that camera. It takes less than 2 seconds for it to rotate.
That's smooth.
That looks hot.
That's smooth. That's
And you
smooth.
can do that within the new slow down feature mode, or you can do that as the battle is engaging. So you can do it in real time, or you can do it during the slow down time.
That is fine.
Now, the only concern I probably have about that is, especially how Square Enix been treating a lot of their games mostly today, is just the difficulty of it. Because Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3, sadly, as hyped as those games were and how anticipated we were for those games, those shits were easy as hell.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
very easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's like the only concern I have. I'm playing. I'm like, it's dope as hell that I'm actually get to experience this game. But on the offside, I'm like, man, I played Kingdom Hearts 3 the exact same way last year, and I'm thinking like, man, this game is dope, but it's kind of easy. So, but nah, it ain't gonna be this easy in release because this is like a year out. But since I'm going into it with that same mindset, I'm like, I hope it ain't gonna turn on like Kingdom Hearts 3, man, because it's playing the exact same way as this. So that's my only
Yeah.
concern, whether it's gonna
It
be
could
easy or
be.
not. So
I just want to ask one quick question about Final Fantasy VII.
it was up.
Do you guys think all these like Crisis Core, all these extra Final Fantasy VII products, stories, games, will that impact the remaster, remake in a negative way?
Not necessarily, because that's what really messed up Kingdom Hearts 3, because you had 1, 2, and then you had like
Prologue.
Birth by Sleep, Prologue, 358 Days Over 2, Go to Your Mom's House, Pass 1, shit like that. all
Even in the new one,
all
they had
these
2
fillers.
point. They had
Yeah, all these
2.9.
fillers,
Remember
yeah.
that 2.9?
So you went on,
Yep.
like a,
All these fillers.
I would say like a 13-year hiatus before releasing an actual official 3.
Who
But
only
7
turned
is different, because
2
7
years
is
old.
7 is just a self-contained story.
So all the other sequel shit doesn't impact.
Oh, no, it
like
doesn't
the
impact
dude
this.
with the red, they made so many new characters. I'm like, who the
You
fuck
talking
is that
about
guy?
Genesis?
Yeah, who the fuck is
Oh,
Genesis?
yeah, you
Yeah.
talking about that was a prequel, and then there was like a sequel movie, and
Yeah.
as far as that, yeah, it's only
I
it's only
mean,
about 2 or
my
3.
theory is that they're going to like, since this is a reimagining, they'll probably incorporate elements that.
So
were
that means
introduced.
I can be in it then.
What?
Yeah,
Well, you could.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you could. Yeah,
I'm a
you
character.
could be chilling in Midgar. Yeah, you could be.
Go that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be.
And that's what people I think that's what people was getting like weird about, because they're like, oh, the first game is only in Midgar, but no, they said it's in Midgar, but they're expanding the lore. Of
Oh yeah,
Midgar.
that's another.
So that's pretty
yeah, that's
cool.
another
So
point.
shit,
yeah,
this
'cause-
the house could be in the game too.
Yeah, it could
Come
be.
to the house. The characters got to do a podcast. Yo, your pod, you got to get 10,000 followers, or you're not moving to the next level.
Yeah, man.
Gotta move to Sector 7.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility, man. All these side games, you can just have.
All right, well, shit.
That's
Let's try
cool,
to.
that's
Let's try
cool.
to. Our new campaign is to get in the next game.
That'd be dope.
That's
really dope.
Yeah. Let's
Welcome
try
to the wall in Midgard.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Shit.
You got a better chance of doing that in 2K though.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah, here we go. 2K.
Anyway, all right, y'all can continue.
2K is a better company.
But yeah, that was another thing. I mean, the point on
It's true.
as far as how the game segmented. Unfortunately, it's going to be 2 parts as opposed to just being one solid game. So the 7 remake that we're getting is actually part 1 of 2.
Bro, we don't even know if
So
it's
that's-
gonna be 2 parts. It might be 3.
Yeah, it
or
might be
4,
3. Yeah, because my hypothesis
Word is
was
they can't find the rest of it.
Ooh. It's
find the rest
missing?
of the game.
No, that's not. They don't know where they're going to head next. Like with the next chunk. That's what the word is.
Oh yeah,
I thought they
because-
lost the file
Are they,
folder. or
are they
something.
trying to monetize it?
No,
Is it a matter of making?
That's what I'm
making
afraid
the most
of.
money
You
out
know,
of it?
they know the product. Final Fantasy 7. Everybody wants that.
Yeah.
So,
The biggest
Because
one.
Final Fantasy 7
That's
is
what I'm
literally
saying.
the
It's
only
the best-selling
game
Final
within that
Fantasy
series
game.
that's actually
and that's my
franchise.
only fear. Like if they try to drag this out for like 3 years,
You know they are.
and it's like we already know the ending of the game.
I mean,
Come
what's,
on, man.
What's
You
the name
know?
of the company?
Square
Square
Enix.
Enix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh yeah, they're greedy bastards. Yeah, definitely.
Greedy bastards.
So other than 7, what other games did y'all take as highlights from the show?
Highlights.
I would say my top 3 definitely Final Fantasy 7 remake, Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah.
That's another good one.
That's number 1 actually.
I saw that one.
Motherfucking Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that's number 1.
Oh my god.
And then,
Everybody's
and
favorite
then the
right now.
third one, well, it's actually kind of a tie for me. The third one would be, the tie for third place would be Gears 5 and Borderlands 3.
You said
Gears?
Gears 5.
Wow.
Well,
Gears
they-
of War?
Sure.
Yeah,
That's
they, short,
Gears
yeah, they
5.
shortened it for some reason now. Now it's just called Gears 5 as poor.
Yeah,
they
Gears
took
5.
they took out the of
War?
War part, yeah,
Okay.
and it said Gears 5. So
Gears 5.
Years.
Major fan here. Got the shirt. Gears.
Wait.
Best game of the year.
Gameplay wise.
And this is the same person that's talking about Mass Effect. He's talking about Gears.
We ain't about to go into this.
Listen,
The
Gears.
best story
I
on
di-
Xbox
Listen.
is Gears of War.
what's the story?
Did you like Gears of 4 that much?
They shoot at motherfuckers.
I didn't like Gears 4 that much.
I didn't
I'm not gonna
like
lie.
because
Gears
I don't
4
own an Xbox, but I played it with somebody.
What's
I
the
played
difference
Gears 4.
between
I played
can tell
Gears
you.
3 or something with somebody. It was horrible.
Gears
Gears
of
3 was great. What
Gears
are you talking
of
about?
Because she's a Mass Effect person. It's okay.
No, but
I'm
No,
a Mass
it
Effect
was
person. I
horrible.
appreciated Gears 3.
I say Gears 3 was the best because
No,
that's the
yeah,
one
it was
that
the
had
best.
4-player co-op. In
But
it.
how is
Yeah.
that different than Killzone?
Killzone's first
Extremely
person?
different, man.
What's it?
This is
Yeah,
third
Killzone's
person.
first person. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gears of
Third
War is
person.
completely third person.
Oh,
Are you talking about in
Different
terms of
kills.
story?
nah, whatever. Never mind.
Story.
Let's move on.
Story's better.
You just shoot motherfuckers. Okay. this is a
Okay,
big
so
difference.
they had gameplay, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Gears was
Okay.
probably the smoothest gameplay out of all of them. Besides, probably I didn't get a chance to do Final Fantasy, but besides, from the games that I played, it's very smooth, interactive, and it's only the first part of it that they released. They only released, I think it was called Escape, where they drop you into the hive, you get captured, set a bomb, and you got to move. You're on a timer. The gas is coming. All of it. I do agree with Nick, but I want to say because it is a demo, and where we were, it really was kind of easy.
I
Like,
mean,
it's a
they
breeze
put it
through
on beginner.
Yeah, and that's and
You got to think they probably want people in and out.
I
Yeah.
mean,
You know,
but
playing
that's the
on
thing,
there.
though.
That's
It was
true.
like a lot of people, when you watched them play, they ran through it like it was nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
the people that was in line in front of them, they were struggling. They were dying.
We're
And I'm
talking
like,
about
what the
we're
hell?
talking about industry insiders, personnel, the people who actually in the industry. They sucked at that game.
So what does
trash.
that say about the media then? Are the media just now?
That's a whole nother topic.
It
That's
pretty
a
much
whole
says
nother
that
topic,
the
man.
media themselves.
Because
they
that's
don't-
really interesting. I didn't know it was like
I
that.
mean, that's
Yeah.
like journalists. You
yeah,
trying to get them playing
gaming
the game.
journalists nowadays they just write about the games. As far
They
as
don't
actually
necessarily
playing and experiencing
play
them,
and
that's a
experience
whole
them.
different a whole different
Wow.
ballpark right there.
So what you're saying is they don't play it on their own time. They just play it on work time.
They play it on work time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the amount of effort and work we put into playing games, they only do like a fraction of that. Hell, not even a fraction.
I
what's
guess-
a fraction of a fraction?
I guess that
So
makes,
whatever that is.
That
A-
makes
a
sense
smaller
though, because
fraction.
Yeah, exactly.
how would they keep up with demand? Like putting out articles and shit. Like how would they do
You're
that?
right, they gotta
Well,
work,
they
like-
they stay because I got to network with some of the journalists. They stay up and they typing and writing and stuff so they can get it out there within the same week.
So what? I mean, the amount of immersion for me for a 40-hour game, like for them, is probably different. They probably have
Yeah,
they
what
gotta- they gotta
what
go
gaming
through the-
journalists has boiled down to nowadays is not even more so about the games. It's more stuff surrounding the game. Like I can't tell you how much shit I heard about them talking about Cyberpunk 2077. Like
Oh, of course.
instead of talking about the actual gameplay, the aesthetics, how
They were
long it took
talking
them
about
to build the
Keanu
game.
Reeves.
They were talking. Well, not only that,
Not
but
even that.
out of everything that I saw that we experienced from E3 that they were talking about for Cyberpunk, the one main thing that they touched on was, why the fuck is a transgender character on this poster right here with a big ass dick advertised energy drink?
Wait,
like,
really?
Yeah, like because that was like that was one of the
Like
marketing. Yeah, because in the game they have because Cyberpunk is a futuristic sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, sci-fi futurepunk.
Not sci-fi.
Sci-fi, new genre.
Sci-fi new genre, yeah.
cool.
So it's a futuristic game, and the aesthetics of that game is pretty much all the humans on there. They're augmented, so pretty much anything you want to change about yourself, you can change it. Whether it be your hands, your skin tone, your facial features, your body features, all that stuff you can change. So the one thing that they decided to harken on was this one little ad that was like an in-game advertisement shot, and pretty much what it was is this
Like,
character. It was a
You barely could see. You'd have to go to that. And
yeah, it's like
pause
you can
on
barely
that part.
see it. So what they had to do was to zoom in and frame by frame look at exactly what this character looked like. So the person that they zoomed in on was of a female who just happened to have
The penis.
a big dick.
So
So
what you
they were
wasn't-
talking about that the whole time?
Yeah.
No, I get what he's saying because recently, I think Dame told me about this story that came out about Cyberpunk that said they have Haitians in the game, and like I guess they were living in the slums or something like
Yeah,
that.
they're in the
And
ghetto.
people got on that subject and were just like, "Oh, you're categorizing one
Just like
person."
in Fast
But-
and Furious.
But you have people running like, "Oh my God, there's Haitians in the game. We love that." They love the aspect. So it is a weird line when it comes to these journalists.
No,
They
I mean,
report.
no,
they
no,
don't.
no,
They don't
no.
report about the game. I'm just
And no,
saying.
and
2002, motherfucking Vice City.
That's
Tommy
what I
Vercetti
said.
got shot out by both Haitians and Cubans.
But
Both,
peop- but
both
people-
of them are criminals in the game.
But a lot of people didn't like that then too,
yeah, like it didn't either.
because
Yeah, but it's
See, that's
they,
why-
they paint Haitians in a negative
and
light.
that's why.
I mean, but if that,
If-
I mean, it doesn't make sense because because games nowadays they're trying to get as historically accurate as possible.
Yes.
So
God.
just because you butt hurt over reality doesn't mean. I'm just saying.
Well,
'cause
let
it's like-
me put a spin on her.
I
thing
mean, if you look at
because
statistics,
she's right.
stuff, so
but the idea of it is goes back to what they were saying about it's different, given that like say you have got Keanu Reeves, promoting this video of Haitians in the hood, in this sense, right? Now flip this. If they had somebody like The Rock or somebody like us that presented it saying, hey, this was, representation of what we see in the hood in this character trying to get out of it or whatever, it's viewed differently. Because you would see it from our point of view.
But it was science fiction. I
It's
so
science
didn't
fiction.
take it that way because
we
it's science fiction.
the
and
reason
it's-
also the reason why is the reality of it. Now you gotta think this white writer's right. What's he thinking? Oh, you're gonna put a bunch of Haitians in the hood? That's the first thing you're gonna do?
But
But
I
you
think
know-
that's why people get upset because
Exactly.
who are the developers of these games?
Thank you.
Who's creating it? Who's
But
coming up
that's the
with
thing. That's the
ideas?
thing. I forget.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my source right, but
Yeah.
the person actually came out and said there's actually like a African American writer on the team
Yeah.
of
And that's the thing,
Cyberpunk.
and like
Cyberpunk
as
2077.
much as hyperbole and stuff that people be speaking about the game, like how racist and insensitive stuff like that is. A lot of people don't know that the actual original creator of Cyberpunk is a black guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mike
But I mean,
Pondsmith.
it happened. Yeah, that's Mike. But it happens all the time. The same thing happened when made a real push about Mortal Kombat. Remember they said Jax's ending was
Oh,
too,
yeah,
about the
everybody was
slaves.
mad
Yeah, yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
like
But I feel
does
like
that
they're
really affect
always-
the gameplay?
they're
Everybody's
always gonna
getting
pick something-
triggered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna pick
but
apart
Did
something.
that affect the gameplay? Did it affect the story? No, it did. Like the game's good. The
I
story's good.
am triggered.
I just don't understand why.
This is an outrage.
I hate to bring up race, but I just don't understand
Uh-oh.
how people who don't look like us are saying how we're supposed to be offended.
Oh, they're telling you how we
Yeah.
should
It's
feel.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like with the Haitians.
I think we
I
should.
can see if a Haitian is upset, but the Haitians are.
they was
should
happy.
be.
They was geek.
But it's like if someone is of the opposite skin tone, it's like, oh, that's offensive. That's offensive to who? Is that offensive to you?
I
or are you
think-
just saying it
I personally,
as if you're representing when you're not?
I personally think it's just people trying to get clout. They trying to find
Somebody
something.
But that's what I'm
People
saying.
find
It's
it
like if
about.
there's
Yeah.
something to be found wrong, somebody's gonna find
Yeah, 'cause
wrong
it-
with it.
yeah,
They're
Okay,
gonna-
so
Yeah, everybody has an opinion.
another
on this
game
shit.
that was that they did more previews, but I know the first time I think me and Nick were there or before. Was it Darkness Fallen?
Darkness Fallen.
Or,
what game was it for again?
The one that had the another actor and in his backpack was an infant baby.
Oh, you're talking about Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. Yeah.
And when they first revealed that clip of just a baby inside of that, people went crazy. Like, how dare you have this baby in there?
I could see that.
It's absorbed. Like, the idea of the game, you're absorbing life force. So the next time they done a scene from it, you don't see the kid. You see, like, he's walking through the woods, under the grass, fighting things, monsters. They completely nullify the idea that there's a baby in the backpack that you're absorbing life force from or whatever. But when they first released it, because it was such a dramatic thing of, like, that's an infant in a backpack, in a tube, being, absorbed for the life force. That's a messed up concept.
Yeah,
but there's no racist. That's just the idea of it.
But you got but the person behind it, PGML, he's known for doing like off the wall weird shit like that. So this isn't the first time he's done stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, but that's why the marketing was flipped, because they could have went more on that side. This time he's in a grassland. They introduced adult characters. He's having conversations, showing gameplay. There's probably maybe one scene of a baby, and that's before they put it in the tube.
But why can't these companies push back? That's what. So remember, we
backlash.
all remember Rockstar Games and the San Andreas issue, the coffee thing, like the hot
coffee
mod.
Yep.
So then in GTA 4, they just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna be filthy. We're gonna say all types of shit. You can fuck prostitutes. Let's say fuck it." And then GTA 5, same shit. So it's kind of like,
and games, they still love the game.
Yeah. So
but also same for that same issue, which we heard they're having issue getting the next one out.
GTA
6?
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean they're having issues?
Well, because marketing programs don't want to touch it.
But they don't have to
Because we're
market
a
it.
lot more sensitive now than we were.
No, but they don't. You don't have to market that game.
No, but
You
like,
don't. But I'm
itself.
saying, but like for build up, you do got to market.
That's a
GTA?
classic.
no, but like the thing about GTA is like
I get it.
But,
I get that.
But for every GTA that comes out, there's always some level of controversy behind it, though. So at this
But
point,
it's built-in controversy.
Yeah, exactly. So at this point, they already know what they're getting themselves into.
You know the drill.
And quite frankly, Rockstar is like one of only, to my knowledge, there's only 3 developers who can get away with doing stuff like this. Pretty much whatever they can do, whenever they want to do, how they want to do it. Rockstar's number 1, Naughty Dog's number 2, and clearly CD Projekt Red is number 3.
So
Rockstar is like Slim Shady, 50 Cent.
Yeah,
Like,
Rockstar living up to that mantle of Rockstar.
Now,
they can do whatever they do.
Question:
Yeah.
Why did they say anything, and why not? If you didn't hear any new information from Rockstar from E3, why didn't they?
Because they're waiting for the next.
As far as like GTA.
No,
I guess like what did you guys hear? Because
I think they're waiting for they're waiting for the next E3.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah,
but a lot of this E3 was controversial, given that we heard stuff about PlayStation. Rockstar was one of them. It's a issue on content they can allow or want to allow. Also, money being involved.
Money
Money as far as no offense, I love PlayStation, and you know what, they probably should have paid them. But
who should have paid who?
E3.
PlayStation should have paid.
No,
PlayStation was asking for more money.
They wanted
E3.
more money
Okay.
for the
And
company.
they got
set up
cocky and
do it.
basically was like, "You can't do E3 without us."
They was talking shit.
They were talking shit.
Yeah. Like, we're PlayStation.
And then, when many of these exclusive games and games that's really known for being on PlayStation, they were there, but they weren't there.
Yeah,
like
they
they were walking around, but they were hidden.
Because it's
Yeah.
like
Because we saw
most of our stuff is on PlayStation, so they're not here.
Yeah.
Oh.
like one of the Naughty Dog people who's a part of operations. We had to talk to him, but he was just like this. He can't talk much because there's people with mics.
That's what
That was
Zach
pain.
and what's his
What?
name.
Oh,
People
okay. So
mics
they have
around,
the
yeah.
certain contractual or non-disclosure agreements they can't.
And he tried to explain. This was next.
Got it.
Not
Because
Zach. They got the
Sony
W,
was there, but they weren't
at
officially
lunch
there.
after.
So they actually had
RCBC
people
World.
within the company who
Oh,
was there.
was just kind of
Way Forward.
Way forward. That's
We
the-
talked to another developer from Way Forward. He
He
provided
broke
a
it
lot
down
of
as far as
information.
he gives a lot of information. He broke it down for us as far as the whys and stuff. Certainly announced a certain way. Like he said, he'd get on Twitter and somebody ask him, "Hey, is this going to be part of the
Smash,
game
yeah.
or Smash?" And he's like, he can't answer that because there's a lot of red tape. There's like, because if I say
I
something,
mean, yes, money.
then the company's going to come back and be like, "Who released this?"
Yeah.
Then your company released it. Now the companies have issue, even though it was one person, which eventually he'll get fired.
Yeah.
But then that messes the relationship between the two companies.
That's
because
millions
then
and
now there's
millions of
argument
dollars.
on, does a character actually get put on this game? are we going to keep going with this? Who gets paid for it? Who takes the negative? Who takes the hit? It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So versus not having it. So then you got to think, with the Xbox and the PlayStation, they're doing what game is it where we play everybody? Like you can play PC, you can play Xbox, and y'all can play together.
Cross-platform?
Cross-platform, yeah.
With that being the real push right now, and having this pushback from PlayStation, is kind of shaking the boat on some games, because if you're exclusively normally PlayStation and you're like, all right, we're gonna open up to Xbox, PC, and they're gonna play with us. PlayStation's like, why? We're done. Wait, we're winning. Why am I gonna help? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because if you're winning,
because they're winning the console game.
Yeah, because
So,
Nintendo and Microsoft are like, they already said yes, let's do it, but Sony is like,
Yeah, they're the
I
only
just
ones.
want to
They're
stay
the
in my
only
own
ones who's
lane.
not on the boat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
because we're doing good without you guys.
And pretty much this is the last of the consoles. I think everything's going towards
Microsoft said this is not the last console.
Oh, really?
Their next one was the last console. That's what they said.
Oh, the next one is.
Yeah.
What is it's coming to an end?
What's the name of the project? Project something.
Something else.
Yeah,
Starts with an S.
sadly, that
But
It's
it's
like a white.
But they admit that it's probably coming
Project
to an end.
Scarlet.
Yeah.
Scarlet. Yeah, Project
Yeah,
Scarlet.
that's their next traditional system they got coming out. But after that, no, they say they have some of the pipelines, because essentially what Xbox is trying to do now, as opposed to doing console generations, they're just gonna make it so you just have one box and it plays everything.
Yeah.
Kind of like PC.
So what PlayStation's doing, like from my understanding, aren't they allowing you to play all PlayStation games on their consoles?
Next one, yeah.
On the next one. So it's like, look, I mean, if you PlayStation all day, you get to play all PlayStation.
Yeah.
In a
Why
sense.
do you?
Well, right now, like PS5 just confirmed to play PS4 games. Right now, PS4 games, and then eventually PS1, PS2. PS3 is kind of hard to
PS3
emulate.
is the hardest one
because
because
of that cell
wacky,
processor inside of it. Yeah.
encoder or whatever they put in there.
So they're all on board for
Something.
doing 4, 1, and 2. With 3,
Three's tough.
Yeah, 3 that's a tricky
What
one.
was that, Blu-ray or something they had on that
Blu-ray
joint?
disc, cell processor, all
cell
that.
processor.
Yeah. But it sounds like Sony's like, look, man, we got all the juice.
Yeah,
We're gonna put a
and they
PlayStation
was
out.
talking
That's
shit.
all
And
connected.
it also plays into like how cocky they've been with just some of their policies they got going on now. Like, I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, but some of the censorships that's been going on in games, like Devil May Cry, what's another one, Resident Evil, things of that nature. Sony's actually going out their way to censor a lot of things in their games now. But on the opposite,
Like how?
all right, like for example, Devil May Cry 5, the recent one that came out, there's a scene where one of the main characters, Trish, there's a scene where Dante picks her up from some type of battlefield, and then in the original Japanese version, how the camera pans around, you like see some of her ass in the screenshot. But when we got our version, North America, what they did was this little lens flare effect to the point where you can't even see any of that stuff. They're doing stuff like that. Or even another game like Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball is pretty much just a volleyball version of the Dead or Alive fighting game.
You don't
So
see the jiggle.
yeah, you don't see any jiggle. You don't see any
The
you don't
jiggle
see-
out.
Isn't it the main
That's
part?
like the point
Yeah, it's the main
of
part, yeah.
that kind of game.
It's pretty much
You see no
it's
jiggle.
fan service to the fullest. So in the
Oh,
PlayStation
okay.
version, there's like swimsuits and different mechanics that's disabled in the PS4 version.
Wow.
Huh.
So
But on the opposite
so
end of
the
that,
swimsuit doesn't
Nintendo,
bounce.
which is known as like the family friendly company, everything like that, Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, all their games are uncensored.
they got the bounce.
They got the.
They got the bounce.
Oh yeah, I got the Switch version, and it's all in there.
Okay.
It's all in there.
Okay.
That's
Well,
surprising.
I see the push from PlayStation, and to be honest, it's like, if these are pretty much the end of the consoles, right?
Well, supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly,
Just milk it.
yeah. Why not? Why level the playing field for an Xbox to take some of your people? And it's like,
Yeah.
if I can
But
get the games on this platform, why would I even go to Xbox?
I mean, but that's the thing, though. It's not even about your customers leaving. Because me, personally, like, I know all of us, we play PlayStation. But if y'all were to only have Xbox, I want to be able to play with you guys, but I'm not going to buy an Xbox.
But what PlayStation is saying that, look, people are leaving Xbox.
Yeah.
So they're like, I want people to continue to leave Xbox, because if all your friends are playing PlayStation, why the hell you need to
So
get
basically,
Xbox?
Sony's Netflix.
They're cornering the market.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then again, it's like now that Xbox have it to where they got the Game Pass, where now you can play their exclusive shit on
Crossplay.
PC too. I'm going that route because it's only $5 a month.
I think
for me
the
to play
Xbox
Well, that's
Game
what-
Pass is trash for gaming.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
Well, they do got some
That's
good
all
stuff
right.
I
on
want
there
to
for
play
just
like
$1 a month.
Forza and stuff on
I'm just
PC.
saying, it just why buy the games then if you can get
But the thing
pass?
about the thing about the Game Pass
Exactly.
is like a lot of their newer
But
games,
that's why
like Gears
it's
5,
made.
like
Because
Gears
it's
5.
going to be a subscription. It's
Yeah.
going to
But
be
how-
monthly. So
because
that's,
the way they're going with it, man. Like it's not.
yeah,
because
they
is this
said
the
that
end
it's
of the
going to
console?
essentially be the Netflix of gaming.
because
Yeah.
they're,
So
they're-
what's going to be the point of buying a game anymore?
because their end game is
Well-
not just to make systems. They just pretty much want.
Yeah.
They just want their games everywhere because. A couple of weeks
'Cause-
ago, there was an article that came out that at one point they even wanted Halo 5 to be on the PlayStation 4. So at this point, it's not even about
Yeah.
owning consoles. At this point, they just want their games anywhere they
First
can get
of
them.
all, I couldn't
they're-
see
they're
Halo
not-
being
they're-
on PlayStation.
So they're not even thinking
Yeah,
about.
but we couldn't see Final Fantasy on Xbox years ago, but it happened.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
It still
Yeah.
might happen. The idea is that if you can't beat them that way, like they can't outsell PlayStation game wise.
So they're jumping into
So
all
I
just
hop in
outsell 'em.
PC and leave PlayStation, get this Gamer Pass, still play the games
Yep. And the
because the games are now crossplay. You can still play. You can go over there and play almost every game you can on PlayStation that they have, and then you don't have to pay extra. You just pay for the pass. So it's another way to get you to leave PlayStation in a sense.
And the dope thing about the Game Pass is a lot of the newer games coming out, even Gears 5, Halo Infinite, new ones coming out. All these new games that's coming out, you can actually get that day one on
Yeah, as soon as they drop.
Game Pass. Yeah. As soon
And
as
we're
they drop.
talking Cyberpunk, talking like all.
So-
And then that eliminates the cost of not only you having to get another system, you don't have to get another system. 2, you don't have to pay for Xbox Live. So that's one thing a lot of people get misconstrued
Yeah,
too.
it comes with Xbox.
It comes with Xbox. Actually, no, they use
No.
Xbox Live, but you don't have to pay for it all. All that's integrated. Because
Okay.
PC gamers ain't going for that shit.
Hell no.
They're not really going for that. And 3, the fact that you get like a brand new game, you only have to pay for it day one for like $5 a month.
I get that. I believe me, I do. But it's just like it just beats the point of actually going out and buying the game.
Yeah,
It's just on the
You're
pass.
going away
Like
from
Like,
streaming.
And to
It's
be
like
honest,
music.
But that's-
that defeats the purpose of even
and
having
that's why
Xbox.
the idea is what the guys say, streaming's the future.
Streaming's the
It's like same thing to do with music. Or doing with music right
Yeah,
now.
but
I
have to
don't
go
want
back-
to see that with games.
yeah,
though,
but-
man.
but
Let's
game-
go buy
like-
CDs
no,
no more,
Yeah,
man.
but gaming that's a
Just a month, okay.
That's a completely different beast. To
But
tackle
game
in terms
have
of streaming.
like they go measure the success of games not off sales but streams.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that.
And even the way
It's-
Google Stadia, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of Google Stadia.
I ain't buying it.
But
everybody's-
the
Ain't
way
buying
the
that
way
trash.
that their business model is structured is that you have to pay for the low end subscription. I think it's around like $15-$20 a month. It's between
Right.
one of those two price range. So you have to pay to have the option to stream the games. But let's just say if you want to get the new Resident Evil that's coming out, you have to pay a separate cost for that new game
Absolutely.
just to have the option to stream it. So one, you got to pay the streaming cost just to get the damn thing to work. And 2, you actually got to pay for that new game to actually access the streaming.
And that's
isn't
what,
that-
And 3,
and-
they use at least 1 terabyte.
1 terabyte of data each
But that's
month.
what I'm saying, and that to me that doesn't make sense as a gamer. I'm not paying
yeah.
for that
Because-
I would rather pay for a Game Pass and have the Xbox Live and the new games or whatever.
But
Because of it just makes sense. Like
You
why would
rather
I pay?
you rather download your games than stream your games.
Yes,
And
I
the-
would
and-
rather download my games and stream them.
And the
I'm
biggest
very skeptical
and the biggest
about
drawback
the
about
streaming stuff.
streaming games too, like
Yeah.
because since you're just paying to have the right to stream the game, once that thing is off the server,
You're
they
done.
take it off.
It's
You're
gone.
done.
Yeah, they take it off.
Exactly.
Like-
That's
Like-
actually happened
That's
to
it.
us with Soul Calibur too.
Yeah, it's
on
been
Xbox.
happening. It happens.
oh, they actually took it off.
Oh, they take them off.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It's
because it
gone
was
for
like,
good, yeah.
let's play some space. We'll just download again. Nope.
Yeah, they take them off.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of PlayStation Now. Like a few months ago,
Oh, I tried
I was
PlayStation
asked-
Now. That shit was
Yeah,
horrible.
that's
I had to be a part of the survey group to get paid. I was getting paid, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going." And they were just asking us. I really feel like Sony was on the other side of the glass because they was asking particular questions. Oh, would you use this, and how do you feel about it, and the subscription service? And we kept telling them, we don't have an issue with the subscription service. It's the value of it. I'm not going to spend $20-$30 a month and you're not giving me the newest games. You're giving me old games and you're still switching them out each month. Like, we made that fairly clear to them. So then they were like, oh, well, once we add new games each month, are you still willing to pay for it? I said, well, the aesthetics is still trash. because
the
it's
math.
like it kept crashing, and that's what pissed me off. Because it'll be older games that I was playing. For one, I can't save it, and two, it kept crashing, and I had to start over. I feel like I was playing PlayStation 1 with no memory card.
And the biggest issue that PlayStation now has, since the games are streaming, there's always some type of input lag. So you hit a button, literally it's about a 2 to 3 second delay.
And
Yeah,
that's
it was
why,
bad.
that's
It's
why
very
I
it's
hate
very
it.
noticeable on fighting
Yeah,
games.
it's
You
very-
can't play
I
fighting
hate
against
it
the
so
PlayStation now.
much.
Yeah, you can't do
I
that
tried to
shit.
play
Yeah.
Bioshock on that thing. It was horrible.
I feel like that's why PlayStation and Xbox trying to get together to kind of fix
That's
that
why-
on that end, right? Where they're trying
So
to
they're
join
working
forces.
with them on that part, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
conjunct.
Because
not
it's over with. It's like,
Can I
look, it's the
ask-
end of
But
the
I feel
run.
like Microsoft is winning in that aspect because, for one, hello, it's
PCs.
Microsoft. They
Yeah.
know everything dealing with.
Yeah,
building a-
let
That's why I
Sony
feel like
secure
they
Yeah,
that
can
well,
bag.
They can
Microsoft
do
is
it
more
right.
of a
They can do it
software
right.
company,
Yeah.
so that's why they're like
It makes
That's why
sense.
they're leading.
cloud
the charge
provider.
right
And
now.
Sony's
Exactly,
hardware.
yeah.
So if hardware's slowly dying and going away, then what's that going to mean for PlayStation?
But that's all the same why they're milking into the last chance.
Yeah, bro, I'm hardware. I'm not going to give y'all some extra coins. Let me get mine. This thing is
So
dying.
are
out.
we seeing Blockbuster right before?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
that a better
Yeah.
analogy?
That
Blockbuster
sounds better.
before
Blockbuster
Netflix.
versus Netflix.
And they like holding out like, hey, bro, well, fuck you. We still selling out tapes.
Well,
Yeah,
I
like-
don't know because Sony.
like-
I can't call Sony Blockbuster because,
That's the biggest blockbuster ever.
and
in
I
history.
feel like is Sony going into movies?
They're already in
Yeah,
movies.
They
Yeah.
already in
Yeah.
movies.
So
They've
I
been in movies.
they've
No,
been in
well, I'm
movies.
talking
No,
about
they
that
haven't.
unit.
No, they're going the gaming aspect. They're like a whole nother
Yeah.
unit. Like they're doing like how they tried to do the whole powers thing and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Powers?
They're not doing that now. They're focused on actually building movies and TV series off of game properties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But what they're going to do, they're not going to do. They say
Like
God of
Sonic?
War. Say God of
No.
War.
Right.
They're not going to just do God of War, the TV series. They're going to take certain elements from that universe and do a series off of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds like,
Like a cut off
unoriginal.
of
So essentially, they're taking like mainline games and then taking certain aesthetics about the
Yeah.
That
storyline.
sounds
and then
unoriginal.
Like-
Well,
Why
I
can't you
mean,
leave
in
shit
a
where
sense
it's
like
at?
Jessica Jones.
I didn't watch it.
No, I'm just saying like because supposedly like Daredevil, all that coincides with the Marvel universe. It's actually happening
Loosely.
loosely.
That's
Loosely.
different because that's Marvel.
But I'm saying,
But that's the
that's-
idea
that's
they're
the
running
idea
off.
that they're
though.
running off.
And that's why
I mean, but they already created that universe through comics, so it makes sense. But if you want to give me like,
But that's why I said lore you don't know. That's why they're playing it. That
Like if
way.
they give me a Last of Us series,
I'm
Yeah.
watching.
I will watch it. Not based on Joel and Elle like that, but give me
Yeah,
something
it's-
off the universe
yeah,
because
some-
I
yeah.
want to see like other stuff in that universe.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah, because there's
Heck
there's
yeah, take
interesting.
Mass Effect,
There's
put that
interesting.
shit
Yeah,
up.
even-
Yeah, stuff like that.
Because
You know.
a lot of games have a lot of
Just wanna
interesting
try that.
aspects about them that if you would say,
What would
oh,
they
shit,
put
I
on
would,
there?
I would love to watch
Robots?
a TV show about that.
Yeah,
so.
like Crash
Dog
Bandicoot.
slow running.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
I don't want
I
to
don't
see a
know
movie
about
about
that.
Crash
I wanna see
Bandicoot.
that.
I might go Mass
But
Effect
no, like
first.
I actually,
might go Mass
I actually
Effect
would like to
first.
see it. I
Just
Just
actually
so
would
you
like
know,
to see
they
an anime
gonna
series on that
do
though.
garbage to him like they did Sonic before they fix
like,
it.
Oh,
No,
my
Sony's
God.
going
if-
hard.
That's a whole
if
nother
Sony,
discussion.
If Sony
That's
gives it to
completely different.
Nickelodeon or Disney, like a
Oh, no,
cartoon
no.
series with Crash Bandicoot,
Wow.
I'll deal with that.
Every
I'd rather
episode.
deal with that than some kind of live stream, than some
But-
kind of live stuff.
But would
no.
you then that's why I wouldn't compare them to Blockbuster because Sony's
Yeah,
pivoting.
Yeah.
You know, Sony's like, all right, if we're the hardware game and hardware's kind of going away, then shit, we're gonna do movies like Marvel, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, y'all still want to see this God of War, y'all
The
still want to see this
movie.
Mass
But
Effect.
Microsoft
movie.
don't have to pivot.
Microsoft,
They don't have to pivot to shit.
you said Microsoft doesn't
Yes.
have to.
They don't.
They
Microsoft
don't.
is pivoting.
Yeah, but they're using the
No,
cloud.
They've
Yeah,
already
even-
pivoted.
yeah, even
they've
got the
already
But
pivot.
they
pivot. What are
already
you talking
they already
about?
have that.
I mean,
Yeah.
there is
It's
a
a
Halo
PC.
show coming, so
Yeah.
they are
The Halo
pivoting.
show.
Even-
Yeah,
even-
they're-
No,
Halo
what I'm
series.
Watch
saying
Halo
is,
movies on Netflix now.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
is Microsoft
What?
they sell
Yeah.
PCs.
Is it
They
trash?
already like
No.
who don't have a Microsoft system?
But we don't got no Xbox.
Yeah,
She
the
got an
people got
Xbox.
I
And
mean,
I
I'm just
got an Xbox.
I'm just comparing. Like,
But look,
I got
like,
two Xboxes.
Say this.
I
say
get
this.
it, but they're still
Look,
losing.
I got
Say this,
Windows
if
on my
if they
computer.
take away
They're
the
losing in the
Xbox,
gaming
aspect.
aspect, but everything else they
and
taking
that's-
over.
And that's why I think they want to make that formality, because if you take the gaming aspect away, Microsoft probably will be winning.
So
Do
you're
you
saying
think
this
they
new development of streaming game passing is go propel Xbox ahead?
Yeah, because first of all, when you get a computer, unless you get an Apple or something, you're gonna have Microsoft programming no matter what. And if you don't have to pay for Xbox Live, and you get this pass, and you can play whatever.
So this goes with the play anywhere aspect as
Yeah.
well too.
And
Okay.
they got the
I'm
phone
buying it.
aspect. They got everything. It's like, so you don't have to buy a console. Also, as far as money wise for people,
So I don't got to
If you-
buy an Xbox. I can get a computer and play Xbox games.
yeah.
Yes, that's why
That's what
I'm
they're going
happy
with.
about
Yeah.
I
it.
might like
So-
that.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
recently
I can
upgraded
play
my PC.
Halo again.
you don't have
Yeah.
to buy a.
But that's what I'm saying.
laptop.
It's the same
Yeah,
Xbox.
That's why they're
PC.
that's why they're
It
pushing.
don't matter.
That's why they're pushing
That's why
more
they don't matter.
towards.
That's why they don't
It
really care
doesn't
about
matter.
it.
Yep.
Because then, like, imagine you can stream and set up everything from your computer, sit back and then play
So I
all on one thing.
I do have a quick question about.
Even if you play Stadia, you still gotta buy a PC. Goddamn.
Wow.
Hell, these games are made on PC, so shit.
Yeah.
So
They get money. They get money from somewhere.
It's better
They get money
graphics
from somewhere.
anyway.
I only had one motherfucking game. One motherfucking game
Yeah.
from E3 I want to hear about.
What?
Microsoft
Which one?
Flight Simulator.
Microsoft
It looks
Flight
good.
Simulator.
They ain't
We
play
didn't get
that.
to
I
touch
didn't.
it.
I didn't play it.
I got a chance.
I saw it.
I got a chance to see it. I
Yeah,
got a chance to see it.
How it look?
It looks good. It
It
looks
looked,
dope.
looks
was
nice.
it beautiful?
All the
It
games
looks
at
dope.
E3
It
and
looked
you
like-
want to
it
go
looked
see
like-
Flight Simulator.
Oh! Flight Simulator looked like
Oh, it was beautiful,
4K
man. It was
GTA.
beautiful.
Now
It's
is
like I was
it
actually there.
was it
Right,
like
it
VR or
It can double in both.
darn
It can
sure
it can
could've.
double in both VR and.
Are
you
we
can
really
play it.
talking about Flight Simulator right
Hey,
now?
the man said.
Some
Hey,
people were
I have
excited
it.
about that.
Some people say.
Yeah.
Hey, Microsoft
had a line.
Microsoft had an actual showcase about that part.
He's
so
edited it.
They put in time about it. So
Time.
It
Wait,
had,
wait.
A, it had a line.
It had a line.
Yeah.
I
Hold on.
got one question for game then. If he gets to do Flight Simulator, what about Traffic Simulator? Do they have that one?
All right.
Is that one?
They got little guys on the ground that does this
Mm-hmm.
in your Flight
yeah,
Simulator.
they got Farming Simulator. They got
Flight
they got
Simulator.
Skylines.
Hey,
They
real
got,
talk. I'm excited about that shit.
The Farming Simulator.
hell yeah,
Farming
bro.
Simulator 2020. That's what you waited for.
For real.
All right, that's game of the year right
It's
there.
called
All right.
Heyday.
Oh my
No,
god.
business. I
Waiting
ain't
that shit
turning
for like an
the
album to drop. Shit, wait till this shit come
No,
out.
for real,
It's gonna kill him in the streets.
Hey, that farmer.
Wait, I had actually one question. Did
No.
y'all see any Blair Witch gameplay?
Oh, that's a game.
I didn't get to see it.
I heard.
I didn't
heard-
see it.
I heard somebody talking about it behind.
I don't know where it was at. I
I
was
saw
looking for
like
it.
a small snippet of it, and it looks good as fuck.
Oh yeah, because I want to play that.
So
'Cause
what
I was,
does-
I wanna
I was
play that
playing a
too.
lot of the while they were when we all separated. I was playing a lot of the indie games.
Okay,
And I didn't see
that's
Blair
why-
Witch.
But there was actually
That's
a
what
developer.
I'm really into that.
When I was in that
wanna
line
see
for Final Fantasy, there was actually a developer who was two people behind me who actually worked in that game, and he was. I'm not sure why he was talking about it like that out in the open, but he was saying it has a lot of. I'm not sure you guys ever played any of the Outlast games. It has a lot of
Yeah.
Outlast vibes about it. You don't
No,
even get.
the way I was seeing
Like, you don't
it,
get-
when
you
I
don't-
saw it, it reminded me of Outlast.
Yeah, because you don't even get a gun in there. The only thing you get is a flash.
No, because that was
Yeah,
that
you
was
get
the experience.
you get a flashlight, a notebook, and
That's a true
and
horror.
and
you don't get
and a
shit. You
cell
just
phone
run it.
camera, smart
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, and you gotta hide and stuff. I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
But quick one insert. Also did try the Kakarot game for Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
Now,
I'm not excited. I'm
Yeah.
tired of
Now,
Dragon
now,
Ball
now,
Z
now,
games.
okay.
And we already know that story. Frieza
It's
again.
a sad story.
Kakarot.
But-
Yeah, I think right now it only goes to Frieza. But I will say the mechanics so far and the graphics are probably the best yet that they've made. It is like a form between fighters, but with the Tenkaichi freeform feel. Because they try to make it an RPG type where you live as Goku. Like you go fishing.
I saw.
You,
That's interesting.
so like,
That's all.
but the graphics they're using for it is pretty cool. Now, ideally, if they could do better with the story, I mean, it's only Frieza. Like, God, I've seriously played that level. Everything.
I'm
you
gonna
know
fall
what's gonna
asleep at it now.
Thank you.
I just can't get into it no
Like
more.
we know the
We can't.
Namek story
Yeah,
so
we
much.
super
So
know.
much.
Give
I
me
know
that same game and throw it in Super
Thank
or
you.
something like
Thank
that.
you.
You know,
They-
different
this was
universe,
like
yeah.
so. Like you got to think the graphics from Fighters or whatever in a Tenkaichi form, where it's like free roam. So like that is pretty bomb.
Do they expect $60 for that shit?
That's the thing
They
about it.
spent
Like,
$60
how
on
many
everything.
times can you retell
They
that
might.
same story over
That
and
need to
over
be
again?
like
Yeah.
$30.
Bro, everything's
That
$60.
should
That's the only thing about that
be
game that I'm like.
$20.99. I'm not
Bro.
gonna
You're
lie.
saying you're living,
Fuck
you're,
outta here,
like
bro.
you're living the life of Goku, and like you actually living the life behind the eyes of the strongest person in the world. I'm like, man, I relate
Yeah.
to that shit in Budokai 1, 2, 3, Tenkaichi,
Facts.
the super anime that was based off.
It's
of
the same
it's
story.
getting to the
Same
point
game.
where you don't even have to watch the anime anymore. You can
You
just
know.
play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's basically what it is. And
I think they should have just added more stuff to Fighters. I would have been happy with
Or just
that.
made a sequel to Fighters and call it a day.
I mean, there's so many other characters.
Like if they was smart, dude.
because
Yeah.
I didn't too much enjoy it.
Why didn't do like some
I enjoyed
like
the Tenkaichi
alternative
free
reality shit? Play as Trunks or
Yeah.
Something.
Gohan,
Yeah,
like adult Gohan in the future where he fights
that'd be
Boo.
Yeah,
dope.
the dope
Yeah, that'd be
Gohan.
really dope.
You know?
Yeah, or
Because what they also just another part of it.
Broly. Even.
The fan base mangas are doing a lot better than the actual manga, which is kind of scary.
No, it makes sense because
makes sense.
the actual story is just not well written.
Yeah, because like I've been catching up and reading, so like I want to read. What,
You know, I learned Dragon Ball Z from Dragon Ball Z Abridged on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Comedy
Really?
joint,
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't watch the
That
show.
show's
You know how much filler that is? I watched one season.
Oh.
I was like, wow. I remember they had Gohan as a kid, made a friend with a robot in a cave or some shit. I was like, huh? You know what I'm saying? It's
has
just-
nothing to do with the story at all.
It kind of. It's just. It's
Yeah,
nonsense.
I remember that one.
See, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Easy.
Oh, but
Oh,
since,
Farming.
since you did plug
Easy.
in for Dragon Ball, there was one game that I actually played that I was like waiting in line for other games, and I wasn't really expecting anything to come out of it. But there was one game I did play, and it actually kind of shocked me how good it was. You guys probably never heard of it, but it's a game called Biomutant.
Teenage Mutant.
Oh no,
No.
Is it
Yeah,
a
actually-
biomutant?
Biomutant.
Look, is it about a mutant that's biologically infected?
It's about a biologically infected mutant, mutant raccoon.
Okay.
A third person action shooter adventure game. You get to customize
So wait.
this motherfucker to the key.
So wait, hold on. I don't like where this is going.
No, like,
I feel offended.
no,
Stop
look-
bullshit.
no,
Never
exactly.
mentioned this one.
No,
I feel
because like,
offended.
no,
So,
like,
Because
somebody
that's like Rocket.
Somebody made a raccoon.
That's Rocket.
yeah, it's like a rocket raccoon. Yeah.
So
and
you
take-
bite people?
You can
That's
bite
rock-
people. You can shoot people. You can cut them down. with
Trademark.
swords. But it takes place in like a future
Marvel should be suing.
It takes place on a post-apocalyptic futuristic Earth where
That's Rocket.
all the humans
Die.
all the humans pretty much dead.
Oh my god.
On there. One of the things about the story
Oh, that's
is
why they call it biomutant.
it's biomutant, bro.
It's not the Power Rangers. It's the super sheriffs or some shit.
Yeah,
Bruh.
yeah, there's so many characters that can be copyrighted though. So
Super
you know,
serious.
Marvel's on all that
That's
shit.
so copyrighted.
But
I'm not about to give you the history of Rocket Raccoon.
But one of the funny
literally,
aspects about
exactly,
it is, as far as the narrating, how
Yeah.
the voice acting is on there, they
Boy,
talk in their own
this
language.
Is an ugly ass character, boy. Look at this shit. That thing look like a crazed ferret. I don't like
Hey,
it.
hey, the gameplay on there is pretty fire though.
Oh,
As far as how the dialogue's delivered, the characters
Okay.
talk, but they don't talk like regular language. So how you understand them, it's a narrator. It
Like
talks
chipmunks.
in like a Neo Geographic type way. Like he's like narrating, kind of like how they do
like that monkey game.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
the-
There's a monkey game coming out where you're a monkey
Nice.
and like you gotta live life as a monkey.
Oh
It better not be set in the hood.
Nah, it's set in the jungle.
no, but one,
All right.
You eat bananas and
Not the
catfish.
concrete jungle, I hope.
Not in
Uh-oh.
New York. No.
Okay.
Next. Next.
but one of the things on there that I saw from my initial playthrough of it,
Can we get rid of the raccoon?
as far fucking shut up. I'm trying to
Fucking
explain
like
this
this.
shit.
I feel this is bullshit.
But as far as the character customization, when I say you can customize this dude to the T, you can literally change every aspect about that dude.
Can I change the way he looks?
You can change the way he looks, the
No.
fur, the tail, the color, what he wears, and then there's
The
one
trash
thing.
can that he
and-
eats from.
Hold on.
Yep.
Why are we customizing an animal?
Because it's torture.
Because it's biomutant.
Wow.
Futuristic biomutant.
Word to Peter, son.
And then
Word
there,
to
and
Peter.
then there was one option on there was one slider option on there
God damn.
that when I saw this I was like, we've truly arrived at the pinnacle of gaming Apex. There was a slider that was towards the very bottom that said you can cut if you're playing as a female character.
No.
You can adjust
No.
the breast size. But if you're playing with a male
Why
character,
would
that-
a raccoon
wait,
have
that's-
breasts?
He addressed something very important. That's the reason why. Wasn't we just talking about Skyrim and stuff earlier?
Oh, God.
That's why
hey,
he
wait,
likes
wait,
the
hey,
game.
hey,
Oh,
we're
wait,
not going to get
He's
to that.
gonna have
Like-
a giant raccoon penis.
Nope. The last slider for the male characters.
Yep.
You know he is.
You can change the size of this dude's balls. We made it.
Told you.
We fucking made
Told
it.
you.
That's why he
so
want
he
to
can
play the
make
game.
giant
He want to get a
raccoon
raccoon, a big
balls.
dick and balls.
He's gonna rape
He
a
wants
raccoon.
to. He wants to use that as a
He's
lifesaver
gonna
to hit
secretly
people with it.
Wait, he's gonna rape a raccoon.
You can walk around as a 2-foot biomutant raccoon.
Balls.
with
Nick is
guns.
too damn excited about
Bang
this
bang.
game.
Wrap
With
this
a
up.
long-
Wrap this
Wrap this
up.
up, man.
Wrap this up.
Yo,
too
shout
damn
out to
excited.
Madden.
Bang, bang,
Madden,
fell asleep, y'all.
Madden's
We
coming
truly
out
did,
also. Madden was good.
Okay.
He could have recorded.
I don't
He's
care.
saying every year about
You,
Madden now.
look, you talking about raccoon balls, man. I don't care.
You talking about saying
I'm going to get my Madden
some
plug.
Bang bang. Wrap this up.
That's some
right.
different.
Wrap this
Madden
up.
shit every
Wrap
year,
this
though.
up. Wrap this
Appreciate
up.
the excitement, my G's. This was very dope. You know, this was a lot. So,
I'm just mad at Biomutant.
bio on the
You gotta
story.
check it out, bro.
I thought
More
you
on
were
the
going to say
story.
Battletoads or
Bio
low-key
bio
fire,
balls coming soon.
Bio balls.
To
That shit
PlayStation.
that shit low key fire.
Oh my god.
It's not low key. That is definitely high key.
This
You could have said
ridiculous.
Battletoads. You could have said anything. You said the.
Nah, man, you gotta go off the grid, man. You gotta throw them in something that they're not expecting. Nigga.
Where did
Bio
you
me.
find
balls.
this game
I
at?
found it by waiting for Final Fantasy.
He
yo.
was in the corner at E3.
I was in the corner waiting to get in line.
You was in the
because
corner looking at
Looking at
So
other-
you know he's
look
trying
at
to
other-
find mods for it
look
too.
You can change the colors of the balls too. As well.
I didn't get down that far.
I'm like,
I know
look.
you can change the motherfucker.
So
I'm
you
gonna
know
make a-
he's trying to
wait,
find
I'm
mods.
gonna make a zombie game not called Resident Evil, called Zombie Horror. It's like
Why would you even search that though?
Biomutant. Ain't that?
No. Why
Hey,
would you, if
hey,
you click on
hey,
the game, the
in
first thing you
subject.
go to is to the balls?
M subject. Wrap it up.
All right,
Wrap
you
it
guys.
up.
All right. So I guess we can close
Edit
it
that
out.
part of some of that.
But
It's not gonna be edited.
Yeah, that ain't staying there.
definitely
That's not
action packed. This is
Pew, pew, pew.
probably our longest episode to this date
Ever.
ever.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be chopped up.
Oh yeah,
We'll chop this up.
Real.
But
we
uh,
might have day one of day zero E3 countdown and then do like actually E3 because day one took a
yeah,
lot. I mean,
that's-
day zero took a lot.
Yeah, actually, I think about it. That was only day one. Day
Yeah.
2 and 3, that was.
we probably have
completely
to
monster on
definitely have to pick this one back
Yeah,
up, man.
yeah.
Because it's very lot action packed, man. Shout out you guys for coming through as always, man.
Yeah.
This was
No
super
problem,
dope.
man. No problem.
Definitely see us in the future working on some projects. I think we got some things going on in the future as well.
Definitely.
They'll probably be on the show fairly soon. And shout out to the Farmer game. You guys sleeping on that game.
The Farming Simulator?
The
I ain't
Farming
gonna lie.
Simulator.
It is kind of
It's
relaxing
5-5.
playing that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
But yeah, man,
ain't
check
gonna
us out next time. You know, we out here with the squad. You know, the streams, table reads. Check out PGML and Contradiction on the Twitters.
Twitter, Instagram.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, IG,
got
YouTube, Twitch.
We're gonna tag them in the video, Rob.
Definitely gonna do that. All right, you guys, man. I guess we close out as usual, man. But all right, deuce.
20 deuces. Bye.
Go ahead.